Hey guys, I have another video for you today, and in front of me is a minecart item detector. Now what it does is when a minecart with the right items passes over it, it'll emit a redstone signal and give the item back to the cart before it has a chance to go away. Now I have a little setup here with two different paths to demonstrate one of its uses. So if I were to push this button now with no items in the cart, then the cart will be set on its current path and go straight. Same thing will happen if I give it the wrong item, so it'll just keep going on its way. So only if I give it the right sorted item, then it'll be detected and then it'll change its course and go to path 2 instead. Now I have three very small designs to show you how to build today. The one on the far left is the smallest out of all of them, the one in the middle is the most tileable, and the one on the far right uses a different kind of item filter than the others. So here you see it's the standard item filter, and this uses the least amount of items, but these over here, the two smaller ones, they require a lot more items, a lot more of your sorted items. So this is definitely not what you want to do if you're like sorting diamonds or something. If you're sorting expensive items or you don't want to have to collect that much, then you should go for this cheap one, quote unquote cheap design over here on the far left. So depending on which design you want to learn how to build, then click on it on the screen now and it'll take you to that portion of the video. So starting off the tutorials with the smallest one, once you find where it's going to be, then go one block to the left, have the hopper facing into that block, and then replace that block with the dropper facing upwards, and that'll just return the item to the cart when it's done detecting it. Now once you finish that, you want to get your comparator output from that hopper, and then that will be going into 2 dust, and that will be going into a repeater going back into that dropper, and we're actually done with the redstone. Now the reason why this is so expensive is because it needs a lot, and I mean a lot of your sorted items. In fact, it needs exactly 9 stacks and 22. So there are our 9 stacks, and then here's our 22. And this is just required because the item filter we're using is sort of cheaty. Instead of like pulling the item from the bottom of the hopper, to make it smaller, I'm just filling the inventory of this dropper. So only if it's this item in here, then it will be able to pass through whenever this gets sucked out one. See, as you see there, it was already filling back up. So that's the reason why it's so expensive. Now I need to fill this first slot up with 18. There we go, and we're actually done with this creation now. I'm just going to set up our little rail line here, and then we can give it a test. So button there, let me grab myself a chest cart, and we can place our items in there, and if it has the right items, then it'll output a redstone signal through that repeater. Otherwise, let's say if I send an empty cart, then nothing will happen and it'll just pass on through. Now if you want your junction to be right after this creation, that's really simple to do. You could just get yourself some powered rail, your regular rail, power those, and then to power that rail there, you just need to have a dust there going into a block, and it's really that simple. Let me grab myself my chest cart again. If I were to activate this without any items in it, then it'll just go on straight, and you could have that going into more item detectors. Otherwise, if I were to have the sorted item in there, then it'll take a turn, and you can make that go do whatever you want. Have it unload in a special place or something, maybe be sent off into the nether. You never know, you guys can find different uses for this. In fact, I'll be interested to hear what your guys' ideas are, if you guys leave them in the comments section below. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. If you guys want, you could stick around for the other ones. Otherwise, I guess until next time, goodbye. So this tutorial is on the most tileable one, and it's called that because you could actually place these right next to each other and they'll work perfectly fine. Now once you find where you want your items to be sucked out of the cart, then you go one block to the left, place a hopper facing into that, a dropper facing upwards, and that'll just return the items back to the cart. Then you want to get a comparator output from there, going into 2 dust there and there. A repeater here will be powering that dropper, and then we need to fill these up with our sorted item. Now we need to fill this dropper up entirely, and then that hopper there will need 22. So let me grab myself there, split that a couple times, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and there we go. And we're actually done with the redstone, so I could give a quick demonstration of this in action now. Button there, and then let me grab myself a cart. So if I were to just send this cart off now with no items in it, then nothing will happen there, no redstone will activate. But if I were to fill this with our sorted item, then it'll detect that the item is in there and it'll output a redstone signal. Now you could actually have the junction right here if you want. All you need to do is replace this powered rail there with a regular rail, and then powered rail there and there. Power that, and then we could give it another shot. So once again, if no items are in there, no redstone will activate and it'll just get a straight shot down through the track. But if we were to fill it with the sorted item, then it'll switch the direction and the cart will be sent off in a different direction, maybe to the nether or something, who knows. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want, you could stick around for the last one. Otherwise, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed once again, and until next video, goodbye. This last tutorial is going to be on the most resource-friendly one of them all. So to get started, once you find where you want your items to be sucked out of the cart, then go one block to the right of that, have a hopper facing into there, then go a block to the left and have a hopper facing there. So you have a sort of zigzag pattern going on there. Then go place 2 droppers, and that top dropper will be putting the item back into the cart, and then we could get started on the redstone. So have a comparator there getting an output from that top hopper, and then that will be going into these 2 dust here. A redstone repeater there, and then a block there will be powering those 2 droppers. Then on this side we have the most standard item filter of them all with 2 dust there and then a torch there, and then we're actually done with the redstone. All there is to do now is to fill it up with our sorted items. So here I am with my sorted items, have 22 in the top one. Hold on, let me split that, and then 1, 2 makes 22. Then we need an item in that hopper there and an item in that dropper there, and what that does is those 2 items that we just placed there are sort of to prevent you not getting the item the first couple times of using it. Because we have so many inventory blocks here and it's only sending 1 pulse, it acts as sort of a buffer, which means that it'll catch the items the first couple of times, but once they're there, it'll just output them every single time. So now that we just put them in there manually, you don't have to worry about not getting your items. You'll get them every time now. So there you go. And then once we're done with that, I guess we could just test it then. So powered rails on all of that there, and then a button over here, and I also need a cart. So if we just send this cart off now, no redstone will activate, it's no big deal. But if we were to fill it with our item that we're detecting, then it'll send a little pulse there, and with that you can do whatever you want. You could redirect the cart, you can activate a secret entrance, who knows, it's really up to you. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to, you could leave your ideas for that redstone pulse in the comment section below, and until next video, goodbye.